Today down in the comments, I want to hear about the best piece of mail you got this year. Doesn't even have to be horror related, just the best piece of mail that you got this year. Hello, I'm Adam Caesar. This is Project Black T-Shirt, the channel where we take a new release horror movie or unbox a bunch of horror movies or otherwise talk about horror cinema and then pair it with a piece of horror literature that you'll like to read if you like those movies. I'm the author of a bunch of books that you can go buy and read now, and Clown in a Cornfield, the new slasher novel coming from Harper Teen, just in a few days. You should go pre-order it. Go buy it now, quick. Link's down in the description. Go buy it. And today, I have not done an unboxing in a very long time. And believe me, it's not laziness. I get mail. Sometimes they're just kind of not that interesting a video if you're doing an unboxing and you don't have much to say. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna unbox this, which is I think it's June. What year is it? What month is it? I think it's the June Severin Total Bundle. It was the kind that comes with like the t-shirt and all the extra crap. I don't usually do that. I don't usually get the everything bundle, but I love the movies that they were putting out this month, so I did it for this one. And the extras are really fun, as you'll see. And then I'll cut the camera, I'll watch one of these movies, and we'll talk about it, and you'll have a full video with a review, and then at the end you'll get a book recommendation, just like normal. But we're gonna start with an unboxing, and that's what we're gonna do now. Is the patient ready? All right, here we go. Ooh. I wanna be gentle with it, because there's one item inside that I kind of hope that they wrapped well enough that it made the journey unharmed. All right, I've just opened it. We have some packing peanuts inside. First thing we have, the top, we have Satan's Slave. This is a film I've heard about for a long time, and I've always wanted to see. Early 80s, 1980, Indonesian film. That recently had a remake that people really liked the remake. I haven't watched the remake yet because I was like, I have to watch the original because there's something wrong with my mind, and I was like, I have to see the original before I watch the new one. And luckily, Severin just came out with this. Next we have another movie, and there's going to be other items related to this movie in this set. This is The Strange Vice of Mrs. Ward. This is Sergio Martino, again paired with Edwidge Fenech, the kind of queen of giallo films, one of my favorite giallo directors, if not my favorite. We've talked about almost his entire oeuvre, or at least almost his entire giallo oeuvre, on the channel. I love this director. One of my favorite movies from him, and I haven't seen it in a long time. I haven't seen it since the first DVD of this, I believe. So it was long overdue for an upgrade. I've talked about their incredible collaboration, All the Colors of the Dark, one of my favorite films, and boy, I'm looking into diving into this. There's a ton of special features on here. Martino is still with us, still kicking. They're still interviewing him about these films. We got George Hilton in here, kind of another giallo standby, Eurofilm standby. Very, very, very excited to watch that. And then to go along with that, this month's t-shirt. Ooh, double-sided. Look at that beautiful printing. Beautiful design, very, very cool. Then on the back, we've got old Edward's eye and a razor. Very cool. Very, very neat. Or no, that's the front, that's the pocket. Ooh, that's over the pocket, and then this is the back. Very, very neat. And yeah, just my size. This is Paul Bearer Press, which I have a number of their shirts. I believe I have the Blood Harvest shirt that I wear quite a bit on this channel. They do a great job. And the final film from this month is one of my favorites from Something Weird Video, Horrors of Spider Island. Now, the Something Weird Video version was the cut U.S. version, English language version of this movie. I didn't even know when I was kind of originally watching these movies on those Image Something Weird discs as a middle schooler and high schooler, that this was a German film. I knew something was weird about the movie, but this is a German film, and this has the original German language version, which I've never seen. So I'm very, very excited to revisit Horrors of Spider Island the way it was meant to be seen. German. And then the rest of the stuff in here is, we have some paper goods. We have kind of tie-in photo novelette of Strange Vice of Mrs. Ward. And another one for the Horrors of Spider Island. These are very cool. It's the first time in English they're saying these are reproductions of these photo novels where they basically took stills from the movies and made comic books out of them. Very, very neat to have these. Very nice printing. Done very well. Then, of course, among the peanuts, we have stickers, and then last we have the pièce de résistance, the thing that I was like, am I really gonna get this set just because I want this one thing that isn't even a movie? It isn't something I can watch and enjoy. It's just a collectible. Where did the scissors go? In here is gonna blow your mind. I'm hoping this survived the trip. Doing surgery here. I think it's okay. I think all his legs are all right. Ladies and gentlemen, the spider from Horrors of Spider Island. Wow, this is so cool. It looks so good. It's kind of like resin, I guess, but good on them for getting this to me in one piece. I don't know, it's kind of material. It feels like an extra large, extra Euro trashy Hallmark ornament. But boy, very cool. Resin spider figure, produced by Little Shop of Gore. Good job, guys. Exclusively for Severin Films. It's got a little tag on there like a Beanie Baby. God, that's awesome. All right, I'm gonna cut the camera, go watch a movie now, and then I'll come back with a review. And we're back. I chose Satan's Slave to watch. No real reason other than I wanted to watch Satan's Slave, an Indonesian horror film from 1980, directed by Siswaro Gautama Putra. Not sure I'm pronouncing that right. This was kind of seemingly a watershed film in Indonesian cinema because it ushered in a kind of trend of Indonesian horror that the producer-distributor Rapi Films would kind of continue and would kind of coast on while they were doing martial arts movies, while they were doing comedies. They were like, oh, let's mix in horror because people seem to like it. This is a movie that exists in multiple genres and is clearly influenced by multiple Western movies, but isn't patterned on any Western movies. It kind of takes images from kind of zombie movies and possession movies and other supernatural, like Salem's Lot. There's like a almost visual quoting of Salem's Lot, but it's not a pastiche. It feels very inherently Indonesian. And the thing that's the easiest to demarcate element that makes this very Indonesian is that Indonesia is a majority Muslim country. So we do have people being possessed by Satan. We have a physical manifestation of Satan in the film, but it is shot through this lens of maybe this is happening to this family because they're not praying every day, because they're not being kind of observant Muslims. And can't really think of any other major horror films where that is the case. So Satan's Slave, infinitely interesting. It's about a family who, right when we meet them, we're at the graveside of the matriarch has died. The mother's died. She's passed away, and there's a younger brother, an older sister, and a father. And each of them is kind of has their own interests that aren't not moral, not immoral, but like aren't kind of religious. They're like, the son really misses his mom. We kind of start focusing on the son, Tommy. The sister, she's got a boyfriend. The husband is kind of a workaholic. He's a businessman. We don't even really. I'm not even sure. I think he's in construction or something, or like something to do with the government. And building up Indonesia. And then each one kind of has something that distracts them. Right at the beginning, Tommy, the younger brother, is visited by a spirit that looks like his mom. It's like a ghost that appears outside his window. He is compelled to start obsessing over horror magazines and horror books, and he gets like Frankenstein masks and stuff like that. And that's the movie's cue that he is like trending towards darkness and trending towards Satanism and letting Satan in a way. The sister like notices something's wrong, goes to a spiritualist, goes to like a fortune teller, which kind of further invites supernatural forces in, dark supernatural forces in. The sister's boyfriend wants to bring in a shaman to kind of cleanse the place, and kind of omen-like accidents appear to stop these side characters from helping the family. And there's a priest that keeps showing up, and he's constantly can't meet with the father because the father's too busy with business. And so we have all this stuff that kind of boils over into this 20-plus minute ending sequence that is just a spook-a-blast, amazing makeup and gory effects and weird optical shots with ghosts and zombies and satanic cults and dream visions, and it really boils over, and there's some wild imagery that is just really unique and really cool. This is not going to be a movie for everyone because there is it's never goofy. It's not a movie that feels like a lark or feels like it's not taking its subject matter seriously, but there is a certain goof factor to the broadness of its themes. But I really, really, really enjoyed it. I thought the kind of peek into a different culture in how they view horror and how they view horror movies, and how even the movie itself is kind of, in a way, anti-horror or I guess, satanic idolatry, but it lets you have your cake and eat it if you're a member of the Indonesian audience. That this movie was a big hit, so people liked it, even though you get that message that this all wouldn't have happened if the family would have been a little bit more devout. It's really, really something awesome, something to see. This is a movie that was remade fairly recently, and it's also a movie that usually when I'm talking about Blu-rays and I'm unboxing things, it's for some people they're like, why I'm not buying a movie I haven't seen before. Why would I do that? It's expensive, blah blah blah. But Shudder has this streaming right now. They have the original streaming, and they put out the remake as kind of a Shudder original. I have not seen the remake yet, but that brings us to the special features. There's some really good special features on this. They talked to the head of Rappi Films, one of the producers of this movie, and he just basically gives you a snapshot of where Indonesia was and what the film market was like then, when the movie was released, and slightly after it. Talked to the co-writer or story editor, who kind of basically put everyone's ideas on the movie into one, and that's how they made the movie. Very interesting conversation. And then the best special feature is with actually Joko Anwar, who is the director of the Satan Slave remake and several other higher profile Indonesian films and Indonesian horror films. And he kind of tells his introduction to the genre and why he wanted to remake Satan Slave as a feature, and how he kind of went about doing it, because he was like kind of a festival darling director. He'd like shown films at Venice and stuff like that, but he when he approached the producers, the Rappi Films, saying, I want to make this movie, they were like, oh, well, you haven't really made a movie like this. So he like went off and made shorts to kind of prove his merit, to prove his bones, to prove how serious he was, that he wanted to make a supernatural horror film and remake Satan's Slave, but do it in a modern way. And they include two of those short films on this disc. One of them is longer, a little meatier, and one's like basically, I think it's a commercial for some kind of streaming service in Indonesia. But they're both really good. One's called Jenny and one's called Don't Blink, but they were kind of proof of concept that got Joko Anwar the job to remake this movie. And I haven't watched the remake yet because I wanted to watch the original first, but I'm excited to go when I turn this off, go to Shudder and watch it, because you hear this interview with this guy, and they had to. They produced that special feature during COVID, so like you hear. They put up a disclaimer at the beginning that they did this over Skype, and it's just the audio, and they kind of basically play a slideshow. But it's the best feature on the disc, I think. Just explaining how passionate this guy is about this movie and what an impact this movie had on him. It really helps you place the film in a context. You imagine a young Indonesian kid sitting in the theater or at the video store, or like however he saw it, and you kind of experience that thrill that is really an international, has no borders. Horror fans are horror fans everywhere you go, and you hear them talk about this movie and the impact it had on them, and it sounds like any number of talking heads that you see on Western or American documentaries about horror film. It really does. Even though this movie feels hyper local and hyper specific, there is such a universality to the genre that you really recognize how this movie could have impacted someone who lives in a completely different world from you. At least that's what I took from it. I really, really like this movie. The disc is great. The transfer is beautiful, especially for a film from 1980. It looks really vibrant, really nice, really clean. But like I said, you don't need to buy the disc sight unseen to enjoy this film. It is on Shudder right now. This week's book recommendation, because it's already a longer video anyway, we did a whole unboxing and then a review. I'm cheating. I'm saying Clown in the Cornfield by Adam Caesar. This is my book. It comes out in hardcover in a matter of days now. Please go order it. It's a pre-order or an order at this point. The book might even be out by the time you're watching this. Clive Barker called me an author who knows how to make us afraid. There are several other incredible blurbs that are on my website. You can go read them. You can go check this book out. The reviews have been stellar so far. As I'm recording this, we have 2 different starred reviews. We have Booklist, which is the American Library Association's magazine, gave this a starred review. Kirkus liked it, and Library Journal gave this a starred review. I never imagined when I was writing this that this book, I always thought it was going to be good, and I thought people were going to like it, but it is a teen slasher novel, not your kind of literature that usually receives accolades like that. But boy, am I happy that people are liking it. Boy, am I happy that reviewers and early readers are enjoying it. But please go buy it. It would help me out so much. Doesn't matter where you buy it, but I've got a ton of links on my website and in the description to get you to a real retailer to get this book in your hands. There's a hardcover, there's an ebook, and there's a beautifully narrated audiobook. So however you choose to consume it, please go grab it. I'm Adam Caesar. This has been Project Black T-shirt. Please like, subscribe, go follow me on Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff, and I will see you next week.